Hello everybody, welcome to my Turnitin video tutorial. Today I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what Turnitin is and how to access it, as well as how to kind of discern what the report is once you get one back from the program. So basically Turnitin is an online resource that allows you to submit your paper, to have it checked against other sources on the web to ensure that you've properly formatted your paper via APA requirements and given all the other authors that you borrowed from the credit that you are supposed to. This is basically the Turnitin student aid, and it might be a great idea if it's your first time using the program to just kind of browse through this aid and read up on, what the program is and where you can find it and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of great details in this tutorial as well, but I'm just going to basically walk you through how to use the program. So once you're in the classroom, you come down here to Learning Resources, and you can see that the Writing Center is here, and here's Turnitin. So once you click on that, it will bring you to this page, and this is where you can access that instructions and frequently asked questions about the program. But today we're just going to go ahead and enter the program. And this may not look exactly the way yours does because this is my instructor profile. But basically, you're going to be sent to this home screen, and you'll have options to enter specific assignments. So if you're working on your week 2 assignment, it's going to be listed here, and students use the revision option, not the one that says paper. This is for you to utilize over and over again whenever you need to check your assignment as you edit and revise along the way. You may have to submit it several times to make sure that you actually took care of the problems that may come up. So I am going to go in here, and once you've submitted, you're going to go under View, and then let's see, here is the sample that I turned in. So right now it's telling me 87% of my paper is matching outside sources, which is not a good thing. So I'm going to click on here, and it's going to bring up my report, and this is basically what you're going to see. It's going to give you a highlighted map of your paper, and each color connects back to a specific match that's been found on the internet. So all of the red links back to this California Gold Rush internet website. Anything that's not highlighted is considered original work by the author. So you can see that in this paper, I've only written 3 very brief sentences of my own, and the rest I've relied on other authors to kind of make up my argument or my discussion for me. And this is a huge problem, not only because it's not been cited properly, but because I have lost my voice in this paper. You can see that, I've only said a couple of things, and I am totally relying on my outside sources to do the work for me. And this isn't okay. And it's a great example of how someone unfamiliar with using outside sources in their paper can create this kind of patchwork quilt of information without really saying anything original in the paper. And while it all might be true and flow well and read well, it's still not your work, and that means that you haven't really fulfilled the minimum requirements of the assignment. So back to how Turnitin works. Once I know that I have these big matches here, I can go to the website and ensure that, okay, maybe this is just a small one, like this blue match here to kidport.com. I can check it, and maybe I've lost where I had gotten that information originally, and now it gives me the link back. So that can be one way where if you've done research and you've kind of misplaced the reference information, you can kind of get it back this way, although I really highly recommend always printing out the sources that you're using and highlighting that information and favoriting it in your Explorer windows. From here, what you would want to do is kind of print this out or somehow get it so that you can keep it. You can download this to your computer by clicking on this link. and save it. You can print it from here, and then there's also a way to exclude small matches, which I don't have any here. And typically the only reason I would ever do something like that is if it's maybe like a 1% match or something and it's giving me like 2 or 3 words from a source that really aren't actually plagiarized. And so part of this program works off of the user being able to kind of discern which pieces are truly being copied and which aren't. Because sometimes if you put a reference at the end of the page, and I don't have a reference on this here, but it will come back as being plagiarized. And obviously that's something that you could just kind of not include, and you don't need to worry about that. And to exclude those matches, you would do exclude bibliography. And then any kind of quoted material that it may not be coming up as properly cited, just really work through and read out over each match to ensure that it's actually being plagiarized and the program isn't accidentally picking up on something that wasn't truly a problem. So once you have your report, what you're going to want to do for editing and revising is to take each match and discern whether or not do I really need to have this as a full-on quote, or is there a way for me to summarize, paraphrase, or just take it out altogether and come up with my own conclusions there. Because you want to be very careful with how much you actually use of direct quotation in your paper so you don't lose your own voice. And the typical rule of thumb to use here is 10%. So in, say, a 2,000 word essay, you wouldn't want any more than 200 words to be from direct quotations. And again, in order to alleviate those problems, you would paraphrase, summarize, or altogether come up with your own conclusions after you've digested all of the information that you've researched. So from here, you also are going to, if you want to keep the direct quotations, then you need to figure out how do I put my proper in-text citations in here and make sure that you've referenced it properly in the reference page as well. And then that's basically it. So when you come in here and you get a % back on your paper, you really want to shoot for 0%, which would mean that you've properly cited everything that you borrowed. Now, if there's a very small percentage, say less than 10%, and it's matching to very either a reference that you have in there or some brief little statement or something that's only a few words, you're going to have to take the time to just examine each match to make sure that you're confident that you're not plagiarizing anything. This is basically Turnitin. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. I'm available both via email and phone. Good luck.